and go hide in the loft.
I'm here to collect Mr. Hawthorne's rent! Shut that! Please! Before I get you in the now! Christ almighty! Johnny Fletcher busted into a farmhouse property.
You bring me back that stuff to false.
Well, look what we have here.
Please don't kill me.
Gentleman John Fletcher! Damn it!
Johnny Fletcher! Don't make me chase you!
I didn't kill nobody. I didn't murder that family.
That don't break me down to me. You're a bounty hunter. You're a wanted man. Here.
Out of the night that covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds, and shall find me, unafraid. It matters not how straight the gates, how charged the punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Stand down and no one has to die today.
This only ends one way.
They'll kill you all.
Why not take your chances in a prison cell?
Alright, I'm coming out.
My lord, I have a report.
Speak.
Our latest assassination attempt on Lady Nocturne has failed.
I can see stronger measures are needed. Begin phase 2.
Captured! The notorious Lady Nocturne has been brought in through the valiant efforts of the Void Cobras.
Get on the jam first.
Prisoner, take 5 steps, then stop and turn your right.
But the pirates of Velix Mortis are far from defeated.
My lord, I have a report.
Let's cut to the chase, since we both know that this isn't a social call and you didn't come here to waste time.
Fine. High Command is gambling that the attempt on your life by your so-called friends has made you willing to cooperate. Am I wasting my time now?
What fate will befall the disgraced former pirate?
The Minotaur sends his regards, traitor.
What does your High Command want, and what are they offering in return?
High Command wants many things, but it wants to show a good faith first.
out Bravo 2. Give us support.
What next for now infamous mercenaries, the Void Cobras?
I want every last pirate I used to run with dead. I don't want to be watching over my shoulder every hour of every day.
Now you die!
Will the Void Cobras become targets of Lady Nocturne's former pirate comrades?
Attention, crash override. This is Freighter Ebony Hawk. My ship just lost all power and thrust. We're going down. Mayday, mayday, mayday.
There truly is no honor among thieves. You rabble will turn on each other at the slightest provocation.
Okay, fine. Moving past you.
Find out on the next episode of Star Citizen Nocturne.
Jameson, you copy?
Touch me now. I don't want to live without you. Nothing's gonna change my love for you.
Jameson, we require immediate emergency extract.
I don't know, man. It looks kind of hot over there.
Oh, I've entrusted my life to AIDS.
my god, oh my god!
Get the hell out of here!
Get him off me, get him off me! They're getting in my armor! Ah!
I got into collecting bounties when a gang of bandits bushwhacked my wife, my best friend Coyote, and me. Meet the Jones brothers.
To take a look at the situation in which you find yourself.
That's Joshua.
Can have real bad.
What's the Indian word for
Next to him is Rufus the Doofus.
Heck, I don't know.
You're just trying to make me look dumb. Alright, I want to
Next
see
to him is
on the
Lyman.
ground.
Remember those faces.
And 6.
You'll see him again.
8 hands praising Jesus.
The other ones, well, ain't no use in introducing. They're all dead.
Run!
Obadiah, get the saddlebags!
I got him!
I later discovered the Jones brothers were all wanted men. I figured I might as well get paid for taking my revenge.
Man, we still want it for justice.
Post is still on the wall?
So I hunted down the ones we didn't kill. Lyman, he sang like a bird. Rufus and Joshua were smuggling contraband down the river. Always to the same spot. I found a nice perch on a bluff above the river where I knew they would eventually be. During the war, I was a sharpshooter. Coyote's Whitworth came in handy. For weeks, I tracked them.
Mama.
Then I killed them.
hear him saying it. You can move the camera.
If you like our content, we'd appreciate if you'd like, subscribe, and get notifications. Help us extend our reach by sharing our video content. And if you want to help us beat the algorithm, also leave us a comment on some of our videos.
Epstein did not kill himself, and Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. And if you don't like it, you can get fucked and die mad about it. What is up, fam of Liberty? Tonight, we have with us a man who needs no introduction. So we're just going to start talking. I'm just kidding. Go ahead and introduce yourself. What's up, Randy? Can you hear? Doug, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. We'll be back. He'll need to reconnect. That happens to me like once every 5th show. What the fuck? Did you lose Doug too? I guess it's just gonna be me tonight. Doug's picture is frozen, and I'm literally just talking to myself. So,
can you see? Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah,
you're back.
It's getting bad out here, man. It's getting horrible. I think
got a storm rolling through.
No, it's just I think they're on to us. I think the infamous they is on to us, man. They're trying to shut it. When you said that Trump was in the Epstein files, it set off a red flag.
There he is. Let's see what we got. Well, I can't add him to the stream yet until he connects his mic or cam. So, I think we got him. Let's see what we got here. Well, all right. Well, I see you, but I can't hear you. Is your mic muted? It has a tendency to automatically mute the mic. You have to go in and toggle it off.
Okay, it looks like it's not muted now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. All right, we got you.
I'm sorry about that.
Hey, no worries.
Okay. So my name's Randy Zurcher. I'm running for Congress in the 1st district in Georgia. And I'll just tell you real quick. I'm from a really small town in Oklahoma. Can you not hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
They can hear me.
I was making fun of Doug.
Yeah, I thought I
with
had
Doug's
it.
internet.
So I came up in a small town in Oklahoma. And I'm sorry, you guys. My wife's yelling at me. Am I on? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, you're live. We can hear you.
Okay, they're saying we're live and he can hear me. So we're on. I'm sorry, you guys. Um,
No worries. It
anyway,
happens to
anyway,
me like once every fifth show.
my parents divorced when I was 9, and so my mom was a single mother. We were in a really small town in Oklahoma, like I said, kind of the suburbs of Oklahoma City, where white flight had taken place. So my schools were 80% black, and I just kind of that was just normal. Not being in the deep South, it wasn't really that big a deal. We were all just poor,
Yeah.
and so, but I came out of that. My mom sent me in the care of some uncles, and I ended up going to college in Arkansas at a little Christian school called John Brown University. And then I ended up staying up in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I got elected at the age of 26 to the city council there in Fayetteville. And I knew nothing about politics, but I knew right from wrong. And we had some victories. We kept a landfill from going on a really sensitive area. We were able to pass the first ever resolution on a municipal level in the state of Arkansas that protected employment rights for gay people. So that was, we're proud of
Awesome.
that. So I ended up leaving Arkansas. I was chasing a woman. I'm just gonna tell you the truth about it. And I chased her to San Francisco, and then she ended up getting a job in Savannah, Georgia, in 2003. And she had a very high profile job with the art college here, which SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. And it really wasn't encouraged for me to be political, and so I wasn't. And so I was a dad, and that's kind of what I am now. I'm just a regular guy. I'm a dad. I'm a soccer coach. I'm a husband, and I'm also an organizer. I'm the local representative with the teachers union here, the Savannah Federation of Teachers. Been doing that for 4 years in the schools full time. And it's rough down here, y'all. There are laws against collective bargaining for public employees. So they know the power of what can happen when we get together on something, and they've cobbled us, but we're working on that. We're trying to get that law changed. And I'm also a licensed realtor, and so I got to tell you, I didn't jump in this just to do it. Um, our local representative, Buddy Carter, has been in there for over 10 years, and he hasn't done an in-person town hall meeting in 8 years. And so we started picketing, some friends of mine, and I started picketing down at his office every Wednesday. And we're still out there every Wednesday. And it's weird because down in Brunswick, which is about an hour south of here, but also in the district, a group started doing the same thing on the same day. And so we've been doing Wednesdays since February. And the guys, he's bought off by Big Pharma. He is a MAGA mouthpiece. The two biggest things that he's been known for this year, one, he mocked up a map of Greenland and called it Red, White, and Blue Land because that would he thought that would please the dear leader, I guess. And then the latest one is he was the one that officially nominated Trump to have a Nobel Peace Prize. So, and if
Oh,
anybody deserves it, less, who would it be? So that's Buddy Carter. So we go, so every week we go and we pick it in front of his office out by the street. We get some honks, we get some fingers, and mainly we've had up to 40 people at a time, but mainly I got to tell you, I'm one of the youngest people out there. It's mainly people over 60, and I love them. They show up and they have their own signs, and we like to go into Buddy's office afterwards and sign in, and make his staff nervous. Bring up the issues, bring up this bad, terrible bill, and ask him, if you call yourself a Christian, how can you support taking health care away from all these people? And they don't have answers, and so we tend to harass them too much. But anyway, so what happened is we were so unhappy with the representation that we were not getting in this part of Georgia. Um, I just decided I'm going to run against this guy. And I wish I was running against him at this point, because things have changed a little bit. Because if you go on for a while, I thought it was just me and my wife that was kind of, that would harass Buddy, because, we call every other day to his office and things like that. But if you go to his Facebook page, every single post that he puts on there has multiple comments below it about how bad he is at his job, about about how he is not really a representative for us. So it's not. So I knew it wasn't just us, and it would be a popular position. Since then, Buddy, 6 months into his 2-year term, has decided he's going to run for U.S. Senate, and so I think he's going to politically get his butt handed to him by John Ossoff.
Oh wow.
Certainly, if I have anything to do with it. But meanwhile, we need representation in this district. Um, the person who looks like is going to be my opponent is a guy by the name of Jim Kingston, and his dad was Jack Kingston, and that's a very famous name around here because he was in Congress for a number of years. And he wasn't a terrible guy, as far as Republicans go, but this guy held. They had a reception for his coming out, as a candidate, and they raised $750,000.
There you go.
So that's what we're up against. I will not accept money from corporate PACs. I won't accept money from APAC, and I will not accept billionaire oligarch dirty money. So we're doing this all on small contributions. AgBlue's a big help, um, but I think we have a shot at it. The only way you can beat that kind of money. Plus, it's a very gerrymandered district.
Right.
So in general, it's about 60% Republican if it's just people voting straight down the line. And so to me, that means our job is to help people see that this isn't such a partisan race. This isn't a blue versus red thing. This is we the people who have to work for a living, who actually are going to count on that Social Security we've been paying into for all these years, Medicare, Medicaid, all that, versus a few billionaires who want to make the rules for us. I don't like it. They don't like to pay their taxes. I want them to pay their taxes. Um, you know, just get out of government.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. I really, if I get up there, I want to start a no oligarchy caucus. Just people who will swear off any. We don't take rich people money. Okay, if you want to put it that way. And because that's really the biggest problem I see, causing a whole bunch of other problems is, if you have enough money, you can just buy it.
Have you heard anything from the Justice Democrats or any of the caucuses like the AOC belong to or Booker used to?
They do not know about me yet. So no, I'm hoping to. I would love to be up there battling those, in those battles with AOC and Jasmine Crockett. That
Yeah.
woman, she lays it down. She lays it down.
Yeah.
So
She's our hero, especially.
She's our hero for sure. What do you think when you go into this place? You said that the guy who's there now, what's his name again? The do nothing.
The actual name is Earl Leroy Buddy Carter, but he goes by Buddy. You can see
Oh,
why.
Jesus. Earl Leroy Buddy, huh? Yeah, that's all I need to hear. But
Fucking white people.
Right. So what happened? What do you think to yourself when you go to Earl Leroy Buddy's office, and you know that he hasn't been there since he got elected, never has come back for a town hall, and people still throw a finger when they come by? Like, when you ask yourself, what are they throwing a finger for? What are they? What are they doing? Why?
I don't know. Yeah. I will say this. I will say this. We actually did a town hall, and I say we. There's a group called Coastal something for Democracy. I'm sorry. They're also the local 5051 group, and they kind of organize our protests and stuff around here. They organized a town hall meeting, and we invited Buddy and all our other representatives, and he didn't show. So they had a little little mock-up of him there, a little doll kind of thing. And
Uh-huh.
I gotta tell you, people really aired their concerns, and it was too bad he wasn't there.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
guess that's the crux of that
So,
question.
but I would say we get a lot more honks and thumbs up than we do fingers. It's usually maybe one or two fingers a week. But there's always going to be haters, right? There's always going to be hateful people out there. They see somebody doing something, and
So
no matter what it is.
the reason why I asked it is because seeing that ever since the only billionaires benefit bill was passed, or before it was passed, Republicans weren't going anywhere to any town halls, and Democrats decided to take the place. That's really what the crux of the question was, because they just vote for the R, but and they don't have anyone there to take the place of the absent, right, non-existent person behind the R.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think
I'm
you guys
hoping,
take that place?
well, I'm hoping this is that we're in kind of a perfect storm here. This is the right time to make some breakthroughs. You know, to help people realize, look, this is not a blue versus red thing. This is not a left versus right thing. This is are we going to let these people cut our safety nets? It's making clear to people. Do you know what's going to happen when they cut $880 billion out of your Medicaid? Because I do. I've definitely heard from the experts, and they say that rural hospitals are going to close down. They say 70% of people in nursing homes are there on Medicaid. And so to me, it's making clear to people that the VA cuts ridiculous, right? 60,000. Why? Why? And to cut the suicide line. That's just being nasty. I think they're doing it just to be nasty. And this is to me, it's a spit in the face of our veterans. But so as much as we can get out there with those messages, and kind of drill it home. Look, you can, if you want to be conservative, you voted for Donald Trump. Okay, it's fine if you voted for Donald Trump. But guess what? Nobody really voted for this. Nobody voted for the same high prices, for losing our due process, kidnappings that seem to be, state sponsored, but they're kidnapping.
Now,
I don't know what to do except that. Here's one thing I do want to mention that we have planned is Savannah. I'm hoping Savannah, Hinesville, which is about an hour away, and that's where the big army
Fort Stewart,
thing is. Yeah, Fort Stewart is. And then down in Brunswick. So I want to do it 3 places. We want to have some kind of a forum that's just for veterans to talk about the cuts to VA, what could be coming up with VA, and just get some people out there to talk about it. So that's one thing we're doing.
If only you knew some veterans who could help you moderate that.
Right.
As a matter of fact, so for those of you that don't know, Georgia's 1st congressional district is, I don't know if it's the largest congressional district, but it is a massive chunk of Georgia. So if you look at the map of Georgia, that entire chunk that runs from South Carolina to Florida, the coastal sea islands, that is there's like I think 12 counties that are part of 1st congressional district. You have almost almost 800,000 people, and you have Savannah, Brunswick, Jessup, Waycross. You have Hunter Army Airfield, it's a military base in Savannah. You have Fort Stewart, which is outside of Hinesville. You have Kings Bay, which is somewhere probably on the water, I would guess, since it's a Navy base.
Yeah, I think it's around Glenn County.
Yeah,
I believe,
so that
but
district is heavily military. You've got 1st Ranger Battalion up there at Hunter, along with the 18th Airborne Corps has some elements there. 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, Fort Stewart is home to 3rd Infantry Division, and Kings Bay is a submarine base. I'm not sure how big it is, or
You know more about it than I do. You've
maybe.
been down there. I can tell.
So you have that is it's all coastal real estate and lowlands, and there's a lot of money there on the coast, which
Yeah.
you have some rural areas too, so it heavily skews the household income. I think it's like 65,000 or whatever, which is, so you've got the low end balanced out by some of the high end. Like Savannah is nice.
Yeah.
I was stationed at Hunter Army Airfield and Fort Stewart, so I'm familiar with the area.
Oh, great. Yeah. Nice.
So,
so if you want to do a thing on bases, we're happy to, come down there and like.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That'd be incredible. Oh, that would be incredible. Let's do it. You tell me
Down
when
there,
and
Doug can be the
you know.
MC. I'll be the anger translator.
Anytime. Especially if you're talking
we'll do
about
a series of them. We'll do a series of them.
Yeah, so you said those 3 places, first of all, there's bases down there everywhere, right? But
yeah,
number one, if you're going to do anything that has to do with veterans, we're down, right? And especially in Georgia, because like we're right here. So we would love to host that. We would love to help facilitate that. You let us know.
I mean, that is really great. I definitely will. That could really give us some momentum. By the way, speaking of veterans, that last Veterans March in DC, we rented a van, and it ended up being a 12-passenger van. We couldn't find people to fill it. We went up. We did a 1-day trip. Go up in the morning. We protested for a couple hours, then came back that night. We ended up getting 5 of us, and we packed all of us into the sedan and drove up there. But it was great, and we saw quite a few Sons of Liberty people up there. We went over to the tent and stuff. So I appreciate you guys being out there.
Yeah. So speaking of that, you couldn't find folks to fill it. You're talking about just in that Savannah area or the whole area?
I mean, we put it out to Brunswick too if they wanted to drive up an hour. But yeah, it's it's tough. You got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's still a fledgling movement, even though we've been doing it for almost a year now. We haven't really picked up traction until like January. So in those first 3 or 4 months, a lot of people were hesitant to like just meet up with people to go somewhere. Like,
yeah.
You get people that were like, "Oh, I didn't know you're from here. Yeah, I'm from here. Oh, I didn't know we could have rode together. Yeah, we could next time maybe." Meanwhile, on Discord, it's like, "Hey, is anybody coming out of such and such place? You want to get a ride together?"
Right.
How did you get involved with Sons of Liberty? Because I see you got the shirt on. I see you were there. You've been there with us. Saw pictures with you. How do you get involved with us?
It was my wife Mercedes. I don't know when she found you guys on YouTube, but I found you not too long after the election. I mean that was a real punch in the gut. I did a lot of canvassing for Kamala, and there was some real momentum behind that campaign. So in my I think I was still in my denial phase, which I still come back to because I'm pretty sure they cheated, but. In my denial phase, I took solace in Admin Tim just getting on there and laying it down. Just telling the bootlickers what they can do and all that. So it hooked me for sure. So I blame my wife for it. Mercedes did it.
We like her.
She can hear you, right?
So
we're on some kind of delay, right? You can edit all that out.
All right, so I see that you have quite a few issues. I wanted to go into some of the issues. and see basically how you plan on presenting them to such a southern, such a red place. But the first one, I think, the first one and the one that I think everybody can get behind is Donald Trump on the Epstein files, and why did he hide it? Like, can we all agree that that's the
Here's
case?
here's what Pam Bondi let slip. There are tens of thousands
Of
of
video,
videos.
right?
So everything that Jeffrey set up, he got it on tape and he used it when he needed to.
Yep. Yep.
So what I want somebody up there asking is how many of those videos does our president star in? You know, how many
Yeah.
young boys, how many young girls, who knows? And I think that's what they're scared of. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to accuse him of it, but if it quacks like a duck, looks like a duck.
Well,
I don't know.
see, see,
Best friends for years, right? For 15 years or so, they're best friends. So
well, here's the thing. Seeing is how nothing else, for some reason, not even their own children and their own hospitals and their own Medicare, seems to change the minds of some of these loyalists because you know Mexicans and abortion. That's it. This seems to be the
yeah,
one thing. And since part of your campaign is like front and center is the rule of law, right? Which should be everybody's front and center because we're
sure.
dealing with a criminal um, party. That's I don't they're not a Republican party. They're they're the biggest white supremacy gang in the world. The Republican Party right now. But seeing as how you can't convince them of that, this seems to be the only way to tie those two together and actually get people, Republicans, to come out and say, you know what, um, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen to Randy. I'm willing to go to this base where the Sons of Liberty are hosting. I'm willing to go to this town hall and see Randy because I heard him talking about this the trafficking of kids. Where's the Epstein files? Doesn't matter what side you're on. You voted to get them out. We want. It seems to be like that could be a winner, and I'm wondering if you're thinking the same thing. If you're willing to use that.
I mean,
And you can
yeah.
say no.
You can say no.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I've been kind of. I mean, I'm glad that some Democrats are pushing it now, but it's been a lot of fun seeing his own people turn on him.
Yeah.
Not that he's always going to have 25-30% are always going to be they're going to be his. I
So
believe.
you don't think it'd be worth it to as part
No,
of
it
the
wouldn't be worth it. Yeah, I'm not saying it wouldn't be worth it. It's just it's not. It hasn't been on my main list of issues to this point. But I'm always for impeachment. I think it's well past time for impeachment.
yeah.
And listen, if he is actually shown to be in these things, I mean, the moral turpitude of it makes me think it's worth impeachment, right?
So
You were with these children, it's a gross thing. It's a gross thing to talk about. Here's what's so weird and kind of so telling to me is there's so many people all over the place on YouTube and all over the place saying that our president is a pedophile. It's say he is, and I'm sorry that messed up your algorithm or whatever, but it's very telling because we know this guy sues a lot. He's
yeah,
very litigious, and
and
so if he really thought he could back it up and
you
wanted to
know,
actually be deposed about it, I think he would be suing somebody. And so there's something there. There's a
yeah.
whole lot of there, and so yeah, I'm not beyond demanding it, but honestly, it feels like it's taking care of itself. We'll see.
So
I mean,
well,
here's the real question: what do we do if he decides, Ghislaine, you can just go?
well,
What if he
see,
just lets her off the hook?
this is the thing. This is what I'm talking about, Randy. If I don't care anymore about any of it. I'm talking about strategy. I don't. The
Okay.
truth. The truth is, the absolute truth is, my friend. Um, I don't need the Epstein files to know that he just voted with the people in what was that, Washington State, to have the clergy not report child abuse.
Right.
Right? I don't need that to know that there are 26 other women who've already said that he's touched them inappropriately or straight up R-worded them. I don't need them. I don't need those Epstein files anymore. I know exactly what he is. So I no longer care. My thing is, all I need is a strategy. I need to know that there's a way to turn 5%, 5.6% of MAGA people in the Savannah Georgia coastal district to say maybe I won't vote because these guys are P words, or maybe I'll even vote for Randy, which would be better. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I mean by the strategy of it. I'm not sure that you can ever get an impeachment. I'm not sure he'll ever release it. But I do know one thing. To not release it is bad enough. There's no more that needs to be proven. Did you know that your president you voted for while typing up Q's name every day and getting off on your hubris, while you did that year after year after year, you brought this president in, and then he said, who cares about Epstein? You don't need any more proof. He doesn't have to do anything else. You can use it. We can use it.
I agree. I agree. Well, I mean, we almost have to use it.
Yeah, we have no. As far as I'm concerned, strategically, there's nothing else that will turn these people's minds.
Yeah, it feels like the first thing that's really rattled them, right? So it's like you got to make every mile count and work it out. And you know, the same goes for the fam. You guys got to keep using these hashtags because guess what? He sees that. That stuff is being reported back to him. And listen, if it causes a deep vein thrombosis, you know,
so be it.
Even better.
So be it.
I'm just saying, you know, maybe it'll push the cankles to explode or something.
So you guys know Carlos. He speaks at the rally. Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Carlos Alvarez from American Action something.
Yeah, I mean he is a fiery speaker. I've heard that he said that if Trump lets Ghislaine off the hook, that might be the trigger for some kind of general strike.
Yeah.
General strike.
Which I'm all into it. Yeah, let's shut it down. You know.
I feel like at this point we should be doing a general strike on purpose, like just on its own reason.
Yeah.
I feel like we know this dude is in the Epstein files. He's in Epstein's black book. He's in their flight logs. He's been on the plane. He said he'd never been on the plane until somebody said, well, that's funny because here's 9 instances of you in the flight logs. And all of a sudden he was like, oh yeah, no, I've been in a plane. And he's fucking leasing.
He never had the privilege of
one
going
of his
to the
planes.
island. Yeah.
And that's where the first time that he banged Melania Trump before she was Melania Trump was on Epstein's plane.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So she was trafficked.
I feel like
she was trafficked, and then
I don't know if she was trafficked.
Well, here's what I mean by that. She was brought in for a purpose. She was not a highfalutin model. I ain't see her on Time magazine. I haven't seen her on.
I don't know how she got an Einstein visa, other than Epstein's money.
She was brought in for rich people to diddle, and Trump became there was the what do you call it? The gift was given to him. So yeah.
My thing is if he, I don't know if he can pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know if she's only been convicted of felonies or if she's been convicted of any state crimes. If she's been convicted of state crimes, he can't pardon her at all. However, MAGA bootlicker Ron DeSatanist could, in theory. I feel like if she gets any kind of pardon whatsoever, that's the symbol for us to fucking everybody who hates pedophiles needs to fucking arm up, ruck up, and meet in DC and citizens arrest a bitch.
So
I said it.
So listen, I personally I enjoyed the sentiment. Here's the thing I'm thinking. Number one, the general strike deal. I need to know right now. I'm kind of pushing on my channel or in any circles I can about saving, getting the funds. How are we going to create the circumstances to produce a long-lasting general strike? Right. That's the first thing I want to talk with people in different states who have some sort of money and financial organizing background or history. As far as what you're talking about, Big Sarge, I would have to see the plan. I would have to know that that plan was in place long before she got done with, long before she got what do you call it? Long before she got pardoned. I'd have to know what's the exit plan, what's the plan to get there, what's our where on the map is this gonna happen? Like, are we just going to bum rush the house, or is this gonna happen? Like, we need, and of course, all of this YouTube is we're just entertainment. This is all entertainment YouTube, but
theory crafting is what they call it in a video game.
Right, we're theory crafting, but that plan has to be done because it's a hard ask. For some reason, Republicans get away with, and this goes to your Second Amendment thing, Randy, which I was also reading about. A lot of everybody, this place has a Second Amendment. This country does, and gun culture here is gigantic. So it's not unheard of to know that people are armed. But it seems like the only people who ever get away with being armed are right wingers. Whenever the left has arms, the boot comes down, right? Like I'm not sure if we could have got away with January 6th. I think that there would have been helicopters and submarines, right?
There would have been blood. There would have been blood on the steps.
Like,
there would have been blood pouring down the steps. I'm not even kidding.
If you show me how we can change that, Big Sarge, count me in. But I just don't know where that plan works. Can we do it? Anyway, I know we're getting into stuff that.
Where people say it's 3.5% of the population if they're willing to turn out regularly. I don't know, but it feels like if things keep going the way they are, we're going to get
there. Yeah, that's where it's headed.
I hope somebody better at planning than me can plan it out.
So far, this is what I'm thinking. Big Sarge, you let me know, because right now we need to have, more importantly, the resource networks before even something like that could even happen, right? And so that's what I'm focused on personally. For whatever reason, I think if something like that were to happen on anywhere on this soil, it's not going to happen without supplies, without chains, without food, without safe housing, without such and such, such and such, and such and such. So I think if we're focused there, we're still doing the right thing for the right reasons, no matter what the end result is. But I'll stop talking about that.
I don't even think that the general strike would need to last that long, to be honest with you. I
mean, the general strike
the whole country is going to come to a screeching halt if we go that route.
No. What do you guys think about JD Vance being involved in this Epstein stuff, getting it out there? Because that's what it feels like to me. Is he and his billionaire pals. This would be an easy way to get rid of Trump.
You mean driving the narrative? Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like stuff that gets leaked or whatever. Well, maybe JD had some people do it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, these guys have proven that if you have all the money in the world, and we're talking about Peter Thiel, we're talking about Elon Musk, we're talking about a whole bunch of people, and I'm willing to bet that at least one of those motherfuckers was on Epstein's client list, because that dude had some money.
Yeah, no, you're probably.
So
I feel like it's entirely plausible that they could be driving this. But here's the thing. So between now and like 2018, 2019, Trump drove the Epstein conspiracy so fucking hard that he whipped up a whole bunch of people that have nothing else better to do than to storm pizza parlors and other illegal shit, with the notion that there was this big cabal of people. And people were like, wait a minute, why are you talking shit about this dude that you used to hang out with? And people were like, you're his friend. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And why would you turn on your friend like that? So there is something there. This dude has lied and it's like, oh, I don't know anything about it. And then it turns out he does. Oh, I wasn't that good of a friend. What's it turns out? He was. You went to his wedding. He went to your wedding. He introduced you to your current wife, who you have cheated on with a porn star, and you cheated on your third wife or your second wife with your third wife. And that's the wedding that he was at. Epstein went into great detail about how he and Trump used to run around and how they would play off of each other to get women. Trump's biggest thing was he liked to cuck men who thought he was their friend.
Say that. Yeah.
He would call these dudes up and be like, hey man, how's it going? So your wife's pretty hot, right? Would you say she's great lay? Oh, come on. Surely you've heard something. You've had better than that. Tell me about it. And so he would get these guys to talk about how they've had better sex with women who weren't their current wife. And at the same time, he's got that wife on speakerphone. So she's sitting there listening and she gets pissed. And Trump's like, you want to get him back? You should have sex with me. And that's how he would do the thing. And he would also, when he and Epstein would get together, they would go to casinos, and Epstein was his wingman. Epstein would be like, you'd walk up to the dude and be like, hey, how's it going, man? I'm Jeffrey Epstein. Do you want to have dinner with me? And then Trump would just put his arm around the woman and he'd walk off in a different direction. The bodyguard would swoop in and make sure that the guy went with Epstein. Meanwhile, Trump's over there giving her the business.
Jesus.
You don't pull that kind of shit and then be like, I don't know the guy. Bullshit. No, there's something there. And he may never, there may not be logs that show he went to the island, but he hung out with that dude during a time period where that dude was diddling little girls. There are photographs of Trump with young topless women. They don't say
everybody.
Yeah.
You know.
So there's a fucking cover up that's going on. And I hate being the guy that used to talk shit about conspiracy theorists. And now I'm the one that's like, this is definitely a conspiracy. It's a fucking weird place to be in.
The funny part too, Cash Patel and Bongino, they were both real big at. Why would he put them in the FBI? Why would he do that if he knew they wanted to? Is that his power? He's trying to show his power over them that they have to completely change positions, or
possibly, but and they've indicated that they're like, no, we're not going to do that. They want to know because their loyalty to him goes so far, and
they actually
for them to have to completely disavow everything that they've built and staked their reputations on.
I mean,
I'm
is that
damned
guy
if I destroy my life this way, or I'm damned if I destroy my life this way, but this is what I believe in. I think it's going to come down to that. If it ever does.
Hold on.
I
don't.
Are you saying that there's a Republican who is not willing to give up his morals to be in power with their leader? That's what it's going to. If that's what it comes down to, we're fucked.
I mean, Thomas Massey is already basically.
There's none of them left.
Thomas Massey has already risked his reputation on it.
True.
So.
Okay.
You know, hey, people will surprise you. You know, you never know. MTG is real upset about the stuff going on in Gaza now.
She's pissed.
Yeah.
She is mad as fuck, and she's like, no.
I mean, just because she doesn't like Jews or what? You know, it's. Because that's what they accuse all of us about, right? If we don't like what
It
Israel's
could be
doing.
that, but I think it's.
Yeah.
I think that when you are a conspiracy theorist of that caliber, with QAnon and everything else, that at a certain point, that overrides your loyalty to anybody that, like,
Yeah, they
if
sold
you
that
really
psyop too hard. They sold the
right.
psyop too hard.
Yeah, they sold it. Q got them.
But see,
fucked
I
up.
think she genuinely believes it.
Yeah.
I think she
I think she
genuinely
does
believes
too.
it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think she believes a lot of the stuff that she says, which is terrifying. Like, JD Vance is not a true believer because he's has gone on record as being like this guy's a fucking idiot or whatever. But he's willing to do whatever it takes to get more power because that's how that works. But this lady, Marjorie Trader Greed, she is a righteous believer, regardless of whatever other things you could say about her. And believe me, there is a ton because I say them like every fucking day. Shit's gonna go down, and there's gonna be some people that are gonna break ranks, and I personally am not going to welcome them. They're still going to be the same pieces of shit. They just happen to be pieces of shit who also share one thing in common with me, and that is hatred for pedophiles. So
it's sad you have to say it, isn't it?
I don't think that Trump knew that there was this much evidence. I don't think he realized that they had 300,000 pieces of evidence and 100,000 pages of evidence. I don't think he knew there was that much video and photographic evidence of whatever. And AG Pam Bondi was like, oh, well, the videos that we have, they're just things that he downloaded. No way. That was her claim back in like May, is that all the evidence. But see, here's the other thing too. They spent all these years pushing this conspiracy theory, but at the same time, unrelated to that, they were shitting on the FBI and saying, oh, the FBI, they're a bunch of political wonks. They're helping cover up this Clinton, Biden, Hunter Biden's laptop, whatever bullshit, whatever fucking flavor of the day it was.
Right.
So they spent years vilifying FBI agents, vilifying James Comey, who was a respected leader in the FBI, vilifying Comey's boss, Ashburn, I think it was, who was a respected leader in the FBI. They spent years vilifying the agency and all of the agents and saying that all these guys were, hated America and whatnot. And those dudes took that fucking shit personally. Those guys hate that motherfucker, but they're professional enough to do their jobs up to a certain point. But when you take 1,000 guys who are not trained they're not field agents. They're just regular office Joes. They go to the fucking office at 8 a.m., get a big ass cup of coffee, sit there at a desk looking over intelligence reports or data crunching, fucking spreadsheets on their little Linux box or whatever. They're not hardened guys out there face to face with the criminals and the criminal elements and the aftermath, the victims, the bodies, shit like that. So when you take all these pissed off dudes that are already like, I don't necessarily like liberals, but I don't like Donald Trump either. And you take those dudes and you say, guess what, guys? You're now working 24-hour shifts. You're going to work 24 on. You're going to get X amount of time off. You can't go home. Go home, get a bag, bring it back here. You're going to set up here and you're going to work. And everybody's going through these files. Everybody.
This is just to flag Donald Trump's name.
Right. And you have these guys who are looking through the stuff. These are dudes that are like used to looking at, I'm looking at a piece of paper that says 5 agents engaged in a gun battle, blah, blah, blah. 75 rounds were expended. 1 truck was lost, 2 killed in action. Both were criminals. That's a sanitized, it's one thing to read it, but when you're staring at video footage of you can't, that's First of all, everybody and their mom who has any shred of common decency is automatically going to be disgusted by that. And when you're forcing people to watch this so that they can find whether or not one motherfucker's name is in the file, whether you want his name to be there or not, you still got to watch it to make sure that A, it's there, and B, it's not there, and then to report that. So you've got all these dudes who've already been shit on, and now you're telling them you got to look at the nastiest, dirtiest, most disgusting
shit.
That word ever. Those dudes are going to fucking leak shit. Everything that we're learning, like today, we just found out CBS News is like, hey, that video that you said there was like a minute missing, bullshit. We have the original. And it doesn't matter what that video shows. They already lied about it.
Right. We're already proving that you
Why
lied.
lie? And then if the video has just literally got nothing on it and they just
the cover up
cut
worse
one fucking
than the crime.
Right.
Like, why would you cut a minute out of the video if there was nothing to hide?
Well, it's like
Doesn't
Sarah
make
said
sense.
here. I agree with Sarah. She said, I think some FBI agents have some things tucked away out there that will start making their way out to the public here soon. I agree. I think that these people's things are going to start coming out just like they already have. I think you're absolutely right.
And that's what
we'll
gets
see what happens.
Why wait? If they sat on this for years, why?
That's another part. Like,
why would you fucking hide that?
That's another thing why I say I don't really even care. The thing about all of this is, before now, I didn't really care because I'm waiting on more evidence. I just need more evidence, and then I wouldn't care until he covered it up. So I'm not even saying that it's this or that. I no longer care. You're in it now because whatever it was before, everyone else seemed to find a way to let it go except you. And then when you pushed it, you covered it up 6 months later. Now I'm worried. I wasn't before. Now I'm worried. Right? And so that's really
I never when the reports were out that Epstein had been unalive, whether it was self or other, I was like, he just fucking hung himself. I accepted the explanation because that's what made sense. Even if you look at all the other things, like, oh, he's got ties to all these other people. But now that you're fucking covering up, I'm like, why would you cover it up?
There's more to it.
What's the point? Just show me the fucking evidence. Like, that's the thing. If you're like, if somebody came to me and was like, hey, Big Sarge, you're in the Epstein files, I'd be like, bullshit.
Show me.
There's no fucking way that's possible. I know that's false. So I don't know what your game is, but show me the proof. Let's see it right now. Show me the fucking files. Show me everything.
Yeah.
If you need, and that's the other thing too, is people are like, oh, why did the Biden administration show the files? Because the court said that they couldn't, and that guy played by the rules. But also, something that we're forgetting that we need to try to remember is that in those files are going to be the names, addresses, phone numbers, emails, and photographs of victims.
Yeah.
And they can't, and that's one thing that the current administration wants, is to release all that. They want these people's names out there. And that's why they're like, oh yeah, just fucking release everything, knowing full well that the courts could be like, no, you can't.
Did someone
show
just ask
me everything
what
else?
CDs are?
What's that?
Somebody just asked us what CDs are.
CDs.
Compact discs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Certificates of deposit.
What are CDs? Checking deposits?
Certificates of deposit. So I have to say this. What's really funny too, they got Epstein in under Trump in his first term. So obviously he didn't have a single friend in FBI that tipped him off.
Right.
So he didn't know.
Wow.
He brought him in.
Another
because all those dudes hated him. That's something else that Epstein said. Now, bear in mind, this is coming from Epstein himself when he was interviewed. And that dude was known to be a pathological liar. So you got to take everything that he says with a grain of salt. If there's no shred of proof to back it up, don't fucking take it with a huge grain of salt. But what he said about Trump was that he had no friends. The only people who were loyal to him was his secretary, who admittedly this dude screamed at every fucking day. Anytime anything went wrong, he screamed at his secretary. And why she remained loyal, I don't know. And the other person who was loyal to him
Stockholm syndrome.
was his daughter, Ivanka. Nobody else liked him. He didn't have any real friends. Epstein was like, I was his closest friend, but I didn't like him.
Hey, listen.
It's not hard to believe. He's that kind of person.
Randy, listen, I have to leave at 8, and I want to get one more question in besides this. I'm glad we went in on this. I think this needs to be pushed every day until the election, period. But while I have just a few more minutes, I want to circle back to this Second Amendment thing. I want to circle back to, because we're in Georgia, because of where we're running, because of where you're running, it's a really big deal. And I kind of like what I've been reading about you not being. This is a pro Second Amendment channels, as far as I know, and I have been privy to, and in my in my introduction to Big Sarge.
I don't like guns. I don't like guns. What are you talking about? I don't know guns.
I think
I hate guns.
I think
that needs to be a thing for sure.
Right. So me personally, I don't even like Second Amendment. I think it needs to be rewritten. I think it's old. I think it's stupid. I think it everything about it sucks, and it could be done better. I also think that until we find something better, I'm a let it rock because that's all we have. But
TikTok is watching.
Right. Right. In that case, I want more. I'm just playing. Anyway,
give me all the good.
So, but I want you to real quick. Let me know what's your talk about this. What's your position on this? Because I think it's very nuanced. I think it needs to be said.
Okay. So I mentioned before I'm from Oklahoma. There's a lot of guns in Oklahoma. And I am a gun owner. I didn't own a gun for a long time, but I'm glad I own several now. And it's a big responsibility. So I'm always going to protect the Second Amendment. But there are certainly some things we can do to make things safer for our children. One is, make the law stricter as far as making sure your kids can't get to your guns, whether that's, they need to be locked up in a safe or some way that your kids aren't going to get to them. I'm all for biometric devices on a gun. If it needs if we can do a thumbprint on an iPhone, I feel like we can do it on a gun, and then that thing works for you because it's your thumbprint. And then also, I remember when we used to have waiting periods, and I think on a federal level, we need to have some kind of short waiting period, at least a day or something. So you can't just be mad at your brother-in-law and go in the pawn shop and grab a gun and 15 minutes later go shoot him. We know how people work sometimes, So and I will tell you this: in Savannah, Georgia, I can walk into a pawn shop and walk out in 15 minutes with a gun.
Oh yeah,
that's with the electronic background check and all that. So to me, those are some just a few common sense things that we can do that don't infringe on anybody's rights but can make it safer. I don't think just an average citizen should be able to have an AR-15. I think you should have some kind of extensive training, either in the military or, some kind of something to be able to deal with something that deadly. It shouldn't be something an 18-year-old can just go grab. So sorry if that's too radical or liberal.
No, trust me. I'm trying to tell you, my thoughts on gun ownership and the Second Amendment is completely antithetical to almost everyone at Sons of Liberty. So I respect that, and I also respect what why their position exists. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So if you're going to say that, well, if you have an AR-15, then you need extensive training. Well, that means that you need it for all guns then, because the only difference is that it looks more scary. Some will say, well, but it fires more rounds. Well, I mean, where does the line stop for you? Because I think what you're saying is common sense, but I also think that
Yeah.
that's the backlash that you're going to get and have to
Yeah.
defend. So I want to hear you defend it.
I mean, that's a tough one as far as where that line is. And I guess the NRA's been fighting just anything, any kind of anything for so long. I haven't really thought all the way through some of it. I guess just expecting it to be shut down immediately. But something that's an assault rifle that you know I don't know what the line needs to be. I just don't feel like and maybe it just needs to be an age limit or something. I want to stop what's going on at these schools, these school shootings and whatever we can do.
What do you think about training? Because that's what I would say. I would say there is no, if you have to train and get a license to drive a car, right? And nobody has a problem with it. Nobody has a problem with saying, "Did you pass the driver's license test? God damn it! Like, can you drive? I know you have a Hummer. Do you have a license? Can you drive? Did you pass the test?" I think we can do something like that with
I agree.
firearms. I think we can say, "Did you take the 9-day test? Right? Did you prove that you know how to store it? You know what the names of the pieces are. You know what the components are, and you know how to fire it without shooting an innocent bystander." Right?
Right.
That to me covers all bases. What do you think about something like that?
All right, I'm for it. I'm for it. Right now, I don't need a permit for concealed carry in Georgia, and I don't need a permit for. I can just open carry in Georgia. No permit. And so, yeah, I agree. There needs to be something. There needs to be some education. It's a powerful thing to be able to take a life that quickly with something you can hold in your hand. It's a powerful thing. So yeah, I'm for it.
Well, listen, I'm super happy that what you looking at me? I'm super happy to have you here, man. I apologize I have to leave so soon. I really appreciate you coming on, and I can't wait to host. I can't wait to MC. I can't wait for Big Sarge to anger translate or be another host because he's the big name. He's the big name. He's the draw.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I really appreciate you coming in, and hopefully we'll see you again real soon.
Thanks for having me.
Sarge, you're on your own. It's the one-on-one. Let's get deep.
I think you lost his audio.
Your mic's off. Every 5th show, huh?
No, that was genuinely I had the mute button on. I said I'm actually going to cut the stream early because I got a couple of things to take care of as well, and it's also Taco Tuesday, and I'm empty, and I need another Big Sarge. And
I feel like we hit a lot of topics. This is great.
Awesome, and we're gonna have to have you back again. That's all.
Absolutely, we're gonna. So you have to go through the primary in 2026, right? Or is it later this year?
No, it's in March of next year.
I got a jet, guys. I appreciate it, man.
Primary's in March. Okay.
Good to meet you, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah, primary's in March.
Okay. So yeah, we're definitely gonna follow up and have you back on along with our other candidates that we've had. We'll try to round robin everybody and follow up with them at the various point times. I know a lot of the candidates watch the stream, so what we'll do is we'll put out a call on Discord and on social media and have people say, "Hey, I'm free on this night. Let me do a follow up with you for whenever the primary is," so we can check in and make sure that everything's going well and see what else we can do. I'm 100% down to come down to the Fort Stewart area, the Hunter Army Airfield area, and help you host a thing. I'll be your MC or whatever.
Man, that'll be huge. I've already talked about trying to get some security from you guys for some of these things.
I mean,
hopefully I won't need it. Hopefully I won't need it. We'll see.
I used to live in Georgia. I have a Georgia firearms license, so I I have an invincibility complex and a kicking ass fetish. So.
Oh, nice. All right.
I'm 100% down to come down and
Well,
do that.
I'm gonna have you guys do it. We're gonna do
My wife just goosed me.
it. Nice.
All right, Randy, thanks so much for being on
the
live stream. Really appreciate it. And actually, I do have one more question for you. I had two questions. My first question is, were you already in the Family of Liberty when you decided to run for office, or was it before you joined the Family of Liberty?
No, I was already in for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We went to the big rally in DC in March. And I'd already decided by then, I think. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 2.
Okay.
When, not if, when you become the Georgia representative for Congressional District number 1, in a perfect world, you get to pick whatever committee you want to be on. What committee would you choose and why?
I mean, I like appropriations because that's where the money's at. I mean, honestly, there's a lot I don't know. There's a lot I don't know about committees. Ways and Means, I hear is a great one. You know, whatever I would be needed on to restore our Constitution would be my first goal, I think. So I don't know if that would be on the Judiciary Committee or oversight, or something like that. Because God dang it, we need some oversight. So I mean, the out in the open corruption has to end, and that's what we're getting from this guy. So
if it were me and I were going to run for office, which I am not, because for reasons I've explained so many times, I would choose the House Armed Services Committee, and I would be like the biggest asshole on that committee. I would be like, General, why is there mold in the barracks? What are we going to do to fix it?
All right, let's do it.
That's where I would be if it were me.
Yeah,
and I would be like, General, why are these troops not allowed to have facial hair anymore? What happened? Are you saying that I'm unprofessional because I have a beard? I would just be a big prick.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, sounds good to me. So.
All right. Randy Zurcher, Georgia, 1st Congressional District. Your primaries in March, you said?
Yes. Please visit my website. It's Zurcher.
Randy
it looks like Zurcher,
Georgia.
but it's pronounced Zurcher with the hard K.
Oh, fuck me. Really? I've been saying your name wrong the whole time. Randy Zurcher. My bad. Oh my God.
I didn't hear you do it the first time, so don't sweat it. It happens every time. I just, I've gotten to the point where I can't let it slide,
Yeah, no, I get it.
100%.
I'm sorry about that. Zurcher?
No,
all right.
No, you're cool.
Berserker.
Well, exactly. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. This is huge for me.
Hey, thank you for being on, and thank you for being a member of the Family of Liberty. Really appreciate it.
Keep it going.
That is going to be our time for today. Just a quick reminder. You have until July 31st, Sons of Liberty store. The code is Epstein, EPSTEIN, 15% off, orders over $20 or more. I'm going to plug it because it's fucking hilarious. The code is Epstein. That's why I'm plugging it. If the code was like Snuggles for you, I'd be like, fuck that shit. But the code is Epstein.
Yes.
Randy.
Keep it alive.
You want to be the second person in Sons of Liberty to close us out with 2 claps and a Rick?
I don't know how well my Rick will come out, but let's try it.
Woo! Thank you, Randy.
Awesome.